Hello, this is another commentary. I said there might be some more of these coming. And this is a special one because this is Devour, the first story of the original series that was not written by me. It was written by my friend James, and I am here today with my friend James to add to the commentary.
Hello, nice to talk to you guys in person for the first time. This is one of 3 episodes I contributed towards, I think, in the
Yeah,
end.
you did. Oh, it might be before because you did this one. You did the
Oh,
Children Need
yes, I
special.
forgot about the Children Need special.
We co-wrote the Christmas special,
Yeah.
and then you wrote part one of Dusk.
I did write part 2.
You wrote part two as well, but it never got released. So,
Yeah.
but this was the first one, and I remember the thing that I was very enthusiastic about this one. This is one of the ones I was most excited about because I felt it gave the series like some authenticity to it, if that makes sense. It was
Because
like,
someone else is doing it.
yeah, someone else's name was in the credits.
It
I was
wasn't
like,
just by Cameron Hughes, written by Geek.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was very exciting. Those TARDIS dematerializations took way too long. They last. We were talking earlier actually about survival. And the way the TARDIS just materialises straight away, and in like one warp, and then the Doctor and Ace just like step out immediately. I'm like, that's what it should have been.
Maybe. Yeah, so I remember when you uploaded this, I was in Cribs Causeway with my
Oh.
family. And I said, hang on a minute, I need to sit down for this.
We need to take a break from the rest
Yeah.
of the day. This is more important.
Yeah. So we were like, they were in a shop. I said, I need to sit down. I went outside and sat on like the little benches. I pulled out my phone, connected to 3G or whatever it was then, and just watched the pixelated Devour on my phone out loud because I didn't have earphones on in the middle of Cribs Causeway.
Oh dear. Well, there we go. Well, I'm glad it brightened your day. Well, I'm assuming it did. I mean, you
Yeah.
wrote it, so.
Yeah, you asked me to be on board from the start, and you have a different process than to doing the Spider-Man ones, which are written more alongside each other.
Yes. Yeah.
This one, it was kind of, I think I'd seen the first episode or two at this point, right?
I can't remember because this was uploaded in January. It was 10 years this January since it was uploaded. So, yeah, I don't know what had been uploaded by the time you wrote it.
Yeah, I feel like I'd seen, at least maybe I'd seen the print of it on your computer at least, or you'd shown the Minus Men to me on the computer.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe that might have been. So I had got some knowledge of the characters before this, and so I wanted to kind of write a more secluded episode. It's very derivative of some New Who episodes, but kind of I suppose a bit smaller in scale. You know, it's 24 episodes, 24 minutes long rather. There we go.
Yeah, there's your name.
And so yeah, it was fun to write. I had a good time. You editorialized a few things, but otherwise I think the script was pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, I didn't want to edit it too much because I thought I don't want to be a dick and just be like, no, this is I'm not going to do a Joss Whedon and be like, no, I'm going to change all of this because all of this sucks.
That's also the danger of collaborating with people, isn't it?
But the one thing that I think the only things I objected to at the time were the Doctor making pop culture references.
Sure.
I remember he made a reference to Hogwarts.
Oh, wow.
In particular.
I'm glad that's gone.
Yeah, I'm glad that's gone too. We'll not get into that because we don't want to get too off track. But yeah, so I think I remember I changed it to a reference to the Horns of Nyman.
Okay.
Which is not a good story, but I prefer it to the Doctor referencing Hogwarts.
So they land on this kind of cube thing at this point.
It doesn't look much like a cube.
It's meant to be like this. I think I wrote it in the script. I imagine this huge moon-sized cube floating in space that they land on. And they keep having this joke about going on holiday, which keeps coming up and not being able to get there. I think that's in a couple of the episodes as well.
Yeah, that was a recurring theme. It was like a running gag, kind of like, oh, we're going on holiday. Oh no, we're somewhere horrible.
Yeah. And then so I think there's definitely some things about the episode which I would have changed. Obviously, 10 years I was 17
yeah.
when I wrote this.
But I would have changed every other episode.
But I mean, as in if I was given the script and told that I could only change say a page worth equivalent. I've got some nice shaky cam there before it goes back. Yeah, I mean, it's cute. It's fun. I think people seem to quite like it at the time. I think it was nice to have, I mean, I know you kind of said I guess it was nice to lend kind of a different voice to the series as well, and kind of give you a bit of a break from having to write all the episodes as well.
Yeah, I like that shot.
That's a nice shot. That's a really nice shot.
That's one of the few shots of this episode, of the whole series actually, that I actually quite like. And I quite like this bit as well. The camera sort of comes up from darkness
yes.
and then it like descends down.
Yeah, because you got like
That's
the
quite cool.
Escher kind of the.
And then it's kind of ruined by just this Lego base plate and the Doctor and Jess just staring at it. But you know.
No, it's alright. It's alright. And then for full disclosure, we haven't watched the episode recently again.
No.
This is the first time I've probably seen it. I think I showed it to some friends a few years ago.
Oh God, did you?
Yeah.
I have never showed any
Not
of my.
proper. Oh, I have. Yeah, I wear it as a browser honor. It's quite like everyone thinks it's quite cute.
Something like that.
I am listening to the dialogue now because I don't really like we said we haven't watched it in a while, so I
No.
don't remember. I remember the story as it goes. I don't remember a lot of the a lot of what goes on. I think so. The episode that I did, this one I did Antecedent, was that the name?
Antecedent.
Yeah,
is the
Antecedent. That was the other
actual
one.
name.
I did part one of what was it called?
Dawn and
Dusk.
No, it was Dusk and Dawn.
Dusk and Dawn, and then we wrote the Christmas special together. I think this is probably like the most of the three ones I wrote by myself. This is probably the most well-rounded as a story, because I think Dawn and Dusk, obviously the second part is a two-parter. I was kind of doing the second part was going to do with some weird stuff, and it was kind of
Oh yeah, I remember reading that script and being like, James, do you know how many resources I have?
yeah, it was gonna I think mine were always quite like high concept, very kind of like
Yes.
timey-wimey, if you like playing with like the sci-fi kind of elements a lot. And then the Children Need Special I wrote was probably a bit dark. It's because that came out of we can talk about that another time, but that came out of me wanting to kind of fill a plot hole.
I actually really like that Children
Do
Need
you?
Special.
Okay.
I mean, technically, I changed that video title. It's no longer the Children
Oh,
Need
is it not?
Special. I think I changed it because I didn't want to get sued by the BBC. Having it in because that video actually got quite a lot of views, and it was uploaded
it?
because I uploaded it on the same night as the Children Need Telethon, and so
Okay.
that same night they were having a clip of the Return of Dr. Mysterio,
Oh,
which was the upcoming Christmas special at the time. So people must have got confused and thought that this series was an official Doctor Who product.
I think that episode's decently written. I just think it was quite dark for a Children Need special. It's because after, I know we're getting off track here, but it was after the Minus Men, and then there's just doesn't seem there's a Dalek. There
is
he
a Dalek.
Is that the only Dalek that appears in the series?
It is the only one. Well,
Yeah.
I did write a script. I wrote a two-parter script with the Daleks called Bane of the
I
Daleks and
remember
Tears
that.
of the
I remember you
Daleks.
telling me about. This is the only one that actually made it to film, isn't it? The only
Yeah.
Dalek. But
And
with the Children Need special, it was kind of to answer why does Jess not care about
Yeah.
what's his face? What's his name?
Joe.
Joe dying. But yeah. And yeah, so he had a chat with the Dalek. I think so. Going back to the influences of this episode, I think there was a lot of influences from the Doctor's wife, mainly in terms of kind of there being a big entity that possesses things.
Yeah, it is
Like
a bit
an
like that.
unnamed, I think that was kind of a thing I want to explore by, and maybe that one hasn't aged the best as well due to the writer of that episode.
Yeah,
right?
again, that's even worse than the Hogwarts thing.
but I think I kind of wanted the Doctor, I wanted it to be, we were talking about this earlier as well, I wanted a couple of characters, only one or two really human characters in this, aren't there? Is it only Jess and Doctor, then you've got the Dalek voice modulated.
Yeah, I mean, Jess is the only human
He's
character,
the
I
only
suppose.
human character, yeah. You've got the Master appearing now. So this was kind of interesting in the continuity of the series, because I based my description of the Master off the Kid Master in... what episode is it?
I think it must be The Sound of Drums Are Lost, The Time Lords,
Yeah,
or something like
where
that.
you see the Kid Master, the long dark hair, looking into the time vortex. And obviously, you weren't really sure at this point, were you, around the canonicity of this and how this interacted with the official series at the time?
No, I think at the time... I think by this point I decided it was in canon with the new series as well, but I had decided that this Doctor was after the 8th Doctor and before Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, because that's definitely a change I would have made, because I think he makes a reference to, is the... can you still hear the drums in your head, which obviously the Doctor wouldn't have known about.
He does, and he also makes a reference to San Francisco 1999,
Yes.
which in this continuity would have been the last time the Doctor had met the Master, which if you take Big Finish into account, obviously isn't
At
the case,
all,
because he's
no.
met the Master every other
Every
release.
other week, yeah.
On Big Finish. Alex McQueen plays the Master with the 8th Doctor on Big Finish. I've not listened to any of those, but anyway, that's a separate issue.
But yeah, no, I think there's some weird continuity stuff. And I think the first thing I think of when I think of this episode is the bit of the Master I think there's maybe a bit too servicey bits, but I thought it was kind of okay in the balance that I knew you weren't including the Daleks in the series.
No,
I
not
knew,
in season 1.
I knew you weren't gonna like do like the
Weeping
Weeping
Angel,
which is, again
yeah.
another kind of anachronism depending on how you see it.
I
guess.
think that's fine. They're iconic monsters now,
Sure.
so...
But yeah, so we've got like the Nihil anyway, because I always whenever I wrote all the stories with you, apart from the Toymaker in the Christmas special, whenever I wanted to write my own story for the series, I wanted to invent my own monsters for them really, and I was kind of in both times I kind of went for like almost cosmic eldritch horror kind of character. Like in this one, you've got this
Yeah.
unnamed entity, and then in the two-parter, it was essentially a living planet in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in that one though you've got like the classic sort of Doctor Who monstery type thing
Yeah,
of
you've
having
got
like the
skeletons,
skeletons going
yeah.
around attacking people. So it was kind of a nice balance with that one, I think. This one's very dialogue heavy, I think. I mean, that one's quite dialogue heavy as well, but I think that one's got the classic kind of Doctor Who setup of like they go to a planet and there are some characters, at least in part 1.
Yeah.
Part 2, I did release a script years ago, like I say, but
We need to get that back up actually.
we should re-upload it, just so people.
It has a capstone for that episode.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I think it's okay to leave, the series kind of, maybe one day it could come back in some shape or form with a different Doctor or something.
I've not ruled it out. That's actually that Venom big figure that's right over there.
Yeah.
I say right over there, they can't see it, but anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry for all you people who aren't here, but again, nice shot there as well.
Yeah, you got you definitely the filmmaking was coming along quickly. Because what episode number was this?
6.
6. Yeah, I think it developed quickly halfway through the series. I think was a nice kind of break, a nice little kind of break in the writer. It was also kind of it let you, because you weren't having to worry about the script. You could kind of interpret someone else's words in your own kind of way, which was really fun to come.
Yes,
see.
I quite like that. I mean, Jess's tumble into the pit
Yeah,
is a little bit haphazard. There we go. She just sort of leans forward a bit and goes, ah!
It was probably a bit more dramatic in the script, but it's...
I do it differently now. Again, because with the Spider-Man stuff I do now, I've really tried to... I don't know how much you've watched of them, but...
I've seen the first 2, I think.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But would you agree that, visually, they are a lot more...
Yes, yeah.
They're a lot better.
Yeah, well, I think, especially considering, the age we were at when we were making these, they're fine. I think the Minus Man is probably the only one that has, so many shaky headsets it becomes distracting.
Yeah.
I think after that, it's
that one's really rough.
I think after that, it maybe we should do a remastered Minus Man. I think AI upscale Minus Man.
Yeah, let's not.
I think after that, it becomes you find your feet with it. And is this the first appearance of the Nihil's voice?
It is, and I loved doing any ominous voice.
Yeah.
Ominous voice characters, because the Mara I did later on in season 1, that was probably my favourite ominous voice, I think, because I think this one I just lowered the pitch.
Yes.
Of my actual voice. The Mara, I think I added a reverb or an echo to it or something as well to make it a little bit more a little bit spookier. I don't know, but I still think this one works well.
Because she's trapped in a kind of a dream state dimension. Isn't she,
Yeah, I think the difficulty with this scene, I suppose, with Lego is that it's quite hard to render. This is a dramatic scene.
Well, I think it works because you've got the grain filter.
I put a grain filter on it.
Does
so
a lot of help for that.
But yeah, no, it's okay, I guess.
No, I mean I showed this to one of my my university professors. So.
Oh my god, no! Please no.
Everyone, it was good. It was good. Not on the big screen or anything, just on my phone.
I don't think it would look good on a big screen. Get this in IMAX. We need to.
And so the Nihil is kind of obviously kind of a just basic name meaning nothing or anything. So he's an entity that possesses a TARDIS, and I think again that's another similarity to the Doctor's Wife story. So he kind of floats around, and wants to devour things, where the episode name comes from, obviously.
Yes.
And I think I enjoyed writing that because that was always kind of the parts of Doctor Who that I like that kind of cosmic horror. I like the kind of the big weird sci-fi stuff. I love the Satan Pit episodes.
Oh, I didn't actually see those until I was 18.
Did you not? Because they were too scary?
No,
or
because
religious stuff?
No, it wasn't that. It was because I watched series 1 that was the first Doctor Who I ever saw with Eccleston, and then I think the Christmas Invasion happened, and even back then I didn't take to David Tennant all that much. Really? So I sort of fell out of it. I think also The Empty Child scared me. So I think I was worried that The Empty Child was going to come back at some point. I love The Empty Child now, but I think because I didn't actually watch series 2. Series 3 was where I jumped back on board, and I didn't actually see series 2.
Series 2 is quite weak. Yeah, like
It's
as
not
a series.
great.
There's a few great. There's obviously you've got the Satan Pit episodes,
Which is absolutely
which is insanely
phenomenal.
good.
It's one of the best new series stories there's
You've
ever
got
been.
the Girl in the Fireplace, which is good.
Yeah.
There's it is a series. It feels all over the place, but then you've got some of the lowest lows at the end of that series. Obviously.
I mean, Fear Her is particularly bad.
Yeah. And then, but yeah. So going back to like the Nihil, kind of like I wanted to create this kind of. I hadn't really like read any Lovecraft or anything there at this point, but I just wanted to like create this kind of unknowable monster. And you've got some avatars that it creates from the Doctor's mind at the start. You've got the Mass, you've got the Dalek, you've got the Weeping Angels, you've got these kind of elements that are taken from his consciousness. But then you kind of get to the second end of the episode, last third maybe, and you get to a point where the characters are sort of just talking to each other and facing this voice, and that was something completely different and maybe a bit above the scope of Lego. I don't know, but like I think it kind of works like well, because if this had been like episode 2, I think it would have been tough, but like you've established the characters well at this point.
Yeah, I think they'd been, you've got the first 5 episodes to sort of really get to know each other. I mean, there were 13 episodes this whole season. I can't believe I did that many in such a short time.
In a year.
Yeah, and it was
a kind of Christmas special, and
yeah. And compared to what we get now,
right, yeah,
with actual Doctor
Who,
is
I think there's probably more originality in this series than actual Doctor Who right now. I mean, let's not, but like, again, yeah, I think what was the episode that came right before this one?
Army of the Nestings, part 2 of the.
So those were really good episodes, and
as I said, those are the only episodes of the series, other than that I wrote, the only episodes of the series that I am still kind of all right with.
I think those couple as well. You've got like there's a needle drop in those ones as well. They're kind of they're more like they obviously the subject matter of people. It's dark subject matter, but it's handled in a way. You've got the secret agent character who adds a lot of levity, and so we could have I feel like it was okay to have a darker episode at this point, and a lengthier, more talky episode. And then we've got lots of kind of like I'm looking now as well. I'm looking at the scrub through, and the color palette of this episode is insanely grey and dark, isn't it? It's such a dark episode.
Especially when we cut back to the TARDIS now, and it's all like the bright blue and.
But like even the dark, the TARDIS is quite a muted one anyway, apart from the blue column in the middle. So you've got this kind of restricted color palette here. So I think this So the Nihil's possessed the TARDIS now. And is talking to Jess, and this is kind of where it becomes sort of quite derivative of the Doctor's wife, which it's fine. I think that's another thing I would change maybe parts of now, but I think you've got like it was really fun to write just the evil dialogue of just an invisible monstrous entity that just doesn't have any goals apart from just consuming things.
Yeah. I think that it does make for a very different antagonist to all the other ones that were in the series, I think.
I think a lot of Doctor Who episodes, official Doctor Who episodes, spend a lot of time labouring in, say, the end of the second act. Oh, this is actually what the villain is. Oh, it was actually this, and this is their motivation. And this, you kind of skip past that, don't you? It's just like, oh, it wants to just consume everything.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it's. I wanted to play it like, I was just having fun playing around with kind of weirder elements.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get the big like exposition scene where the villain explains the plan. But it is quite different. I think if I'd shot this now, I would have shown like more shots looking up, like at the time rotor, at the ceiling. Sure. You would have seen like almost like this echoing voice going around the TARDIS console. I think that would have been quite cool. But obviously, at the time.
What was your thought when coming into the script and filming someone else's writing for the first time?
Like I said, I was really enthusiastic about it. I thought it was. I really liked the script. I liked the idea. And in many ways, even though it was a high concept thing, because it was quite restrained, I wasn't going, oh my god, how am I going to achieve this?
Whereas maybe Dusk and Dawn were high concept. They were playing with similar kind of weird sci-fi stuff, but there was a lot more going on. There were like projections in that one. There were like different weather conditions, so many different locations.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot in that second
I
part,
think,
certainly.
yeah. But yeah, I think there's a lot of. I think with this one you've got a lot of restraint in sort of the filming
Yeah,
as well, which I think matches the episode's tone
yeah.
there. And again, I think you've got a lot of agency with Jess in this episode. She does a lot by
Yes,
herself,
it's
which is
one
quite
of,
nice.
particularly in the second half, she does a lot, and I think she didn't always. I don't know. It depends on the story. You kind of get the flip side of this in like the Mara one, where like Jess is possessed by the Mara for the entire
Yes.
second episode, and the Doctor's having to do everything. Which
Well, I was thinking about that in regards to like the Christmas special, which we may talk about another time. I still really like the Christmas special, and I was just thinking like because most of that episode is the Doctor talking to a guy when Jess goes off and
it
does
is,
stuff, and
because
then it kind of gets flipped at the end when the Doctor does stuff and she just stands there. Like I thought that was kind of interesting. Like I'm
yeah,
not comment like that's not like a I'm trying to not trying to make a big point about this. It's just an
no,
interesting kind of observation about the more about less about like the gender or anything, and more about the companion Doctor dynamic and how
yeah.
that was kind of evolved and explored throughout the series.
I think the reason why that was done, because I think I wrote all the toy maker
Yes,
scenes
you did.
for that,
Yeah.
and Russell copied us.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Russell did
yeah.
copy us to bring this, and I think we were more accurate to
I
the
think
original
so,
character.
Yeah.
But well, again, separate issue. But yes, but I think I wrote all the time, and you wrote. We wrote half of the game scenes. I mean, again, this is a commentary for another time.
We sat down and we split up the scenes to do together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so yeah, so we got Jess now is kind of outsmarting the Nihil. The Doctor's, he's like, in my mind, he's fully like actually given up at this point. Like this isn't
Yeah,
a big Doctor facade, and then they kind of but then it's Jess who kind of twigs that if he's going back to the beginning of the universe, they can go back to the beginning of the universe where the Nihils run from,
yeah,
where this is this kind of primal cosmic soup,
yeah.
soup of all these kind of terrifying creatures, which is a fun idea, I think.
And obviously that tied in with the Ark as well, because
Yes.
those creatures were the Vultures. So.
Yes, and so she can send the TARDIS back in time, to there. And now he dies.
He dies in his oh.
I think that's the thing you can. And now they're finally on holiday.
And even then, the color palette's really grey,
Yeah.
washed out.
I think the end here was kind of inspired by the end of the amazing episode "Kill the Moon."
Oh God.
Where they end up on the beach at the end, and obviously, like we were kind of. I think the Capaldi era is obviously got a lot of love in hindsight, including from myself. But like there are episodes like that are really tough watches.
Yeah.
And I think the end on the beach, I was like, you know what, if this was attached to like a good episode, and that's kind of, well, you're not saying this is good, but that's kind of where this came from. We have the kind of the full circle of the holiday
Yeah.
thing moment there, and it was like I wanted to write an episode where sort of the villain is sort of outsmarted by language and actions. There wasn't a fight scene really or
No,
anything
or
in
like a
this
sort
one.
of technobabble
Yeah,
kind of thing.
it kind of cuts out of a lot of it like I think I lean into some of the tropes with obviously and fan service having some of the monsters appear to the degree, but I think I cut a lot of the tropes out to make room for that. That's it kind of is a pretty straightforward episode. Despite like the weird kind of overarching gods and high concept stuff, and that's the episode. Wow,
That is it. I know, it goes by so quickly.
Look at the cast.
The cast we assembled for this series was
got Oscars. All of those people.
Was amazing. This was before I started using other music as well. This
Yes.
was all just the TV movie soundtrack at this
Yeah.
point, which I didn't mention last time. But yeah, no, I liked it when I was starting to incorporate stuff like the Ghostlight soundtrack and like 80s Doctor Who stuff, because I think it added a bit more depth to the series. But yeah, that was Devour.
That was Devour.
That was 10 years since this has been uploaded.
cute.
And look, I forgot about
Yes,
these.
yes.
I forgot about those.
I like the Cybermen one.
The Cybermen, I liked it at the time. But yeah, but yeah, anyway, that's Devour. So what do you think of it now? I mean, having just talked over it completely.
Just talked over it completely. Yeah, I think, it's a lot more restrained than I remember it being.
There's not a lot visually, like...
There's not. I think maybe it could have done like a bit more like with the script and me having some more interesting things going on. Obviously we were limited by the medium. But like, yeah, I mean it's cute, it's fun, it's a bit different, and I think it's an alright episode.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of the better ones.
The Christmas special is my favorite one that we did.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably
that I was involved in.
Of all of them. That's probably the of the ones that we did together. That's my favorite.
Thanks for having me on, Cameron. It was great to look back at this.
It was. It's been a lot of fun. But yes, we'll do this again at some time for the Christmas special.
Sounds
that would be
good to
fun.
me.
But yeah, bye bye.
Thanks for watching.